Good day everyone. Today I'll be showing a quick preview on Leo Tunnel VPN. So unlike every other VPN, Leo Tunnel VPN don't just secure and encrypt user data. Leo Tunnel VPN give limited and unlimited free internet access to users depending on their country and ISP. As you can see, it has a very simple user interface. Here you can select the server you want. For instance, I can select Nigeria, and here I can select my tweak. So let's assume I want to select MTN 50 MB daily 2, and then I select it. Then I press start. So you can see I'm now connected. You can look up, you see a VPN logo, and you can see as well the status bar is reading. So let me stop this for now. So Leo Tunnel is not just useful for Nigerians alone. Users outside Nigeria can also use it. Currently we have about 1,000 plus tweaks for every other countries, both Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Here you can see some of them. So Leo Tunnel VPN has features for both regular users and users who want custom features. Let's assume you look through our tweaks and you couldn't get what you are looking for. If you know how to go about it, you can just on this custom setup and then you select the protocol you want to use. Leo Tunnel has HTTP mode, it has SSL, TSL mode, it has slow DNS, it has UDP and open tunnel. So you have lots of protocols users can benefit from. So let's assume the user just want to use this custom SIN. You can just select it, insert the configuration details and start the connection. So this is the menu. So this payload generator works with HTTP custom mode. This right here, HTTP custom mode. So the way it works, it injects this website ioba.me and make it send and trick ISP to think user is browsing through this ioba.me, but rather it works inside the tunnel of the VPN. So if I just select this ioba.me and then we generate, so you can see this is our payload. Depending on the website security, the configuration depends on the website security. So you can just walk through it and select. So that's for the payload generator. And then we have identification. I'll show you how to use this later in the video. Let me just copy it and keep it safe. Here we have export config. So let's assume we are finally able to make a kind of connection that works and give free internet. So I can just click this custom export, but note this custom export only work when you are on custom setup. Let's assume I off this custom setup and try to access this export config. You see it won't work, so it work alongside with custom setup. So let's assume I want to export this. Maybe I plan to sell this configuration to other users or whatsoever I want to do with it. I can just come here, or I don't want users to stress themselves typing all these details within it. So I can just come here and export the config. So you see here I can select my config name. Let's say demo. Then if I want to add message, the message will appear below the config. I can just say test. So if I want to add extra protection, because this config file is encrypted once you export it, to protect sniffers to sniff the configuration of the VPN. So you can see we have mobile data, extra protection, we have block root, we have export, custom server, play store, install, ID lock. So the ID identification I showed you earlier, this is where it's useful for ID lock. So if you click this and you enter this ID lock, sorry, okay, it's correct, and we enter this ID lock, the configuration will only work on this device. This ID is only for this device. Each device has its own identification. So maybe I want to make a config that will only work on my own device, so I can make use of this. So here is the config import. Maybe we've already make a config file and want to import it inside the VPN. We use this config import features, and we have the cloud config features. So this is the icon for the cloud config features here. So the way the cloud config feature work is that instead of exporting the config file locally, the config file is exported on cloud. A key will be generated to the user which they can use to get the config file. So when the user click this import config, cloud config, they will get a key, maybe from the source of the config file setup. Then they will paste the key inside here. They will paste the config key here and import. Then the VPN will check the cloud, get the right config that was uploaded through that key. So we have the Telegram channel. Once you click, you will be redirected to the Telegram channel. We have the clear app data to clear the app's data. We have the about, just a brief review of the VPN. We have the IP location checker. So to check your current IP, you can use this feature. We have the speed test to check the network speed. We have the developer in case user wants to get in case user wants to get VIP login apart from the regular server. These VIP servers are faster because you will be the only one using the VPN. So in case user wants some custom features, user can just contact the developer. Then we have the custom server. Then we have the sound. We have the dark mode and light mode. So it's suitable for both daytime user and night user. So here is a brief, and to get the default config file, user can just come to this config update right here and click it. So the VPN will check the config that was uploaded online to see if there's any updates, and it will eventually update and give the user feedback. So this way user can enjoy not just a secured internet usage, but a free, let's say, depending on the country. As you can see here, the country you are browsing from will determine how much data usage you will use, and the ISP. As you can see here, Glo has unlimited data usage and MTN has limited. MTN is limited currently. Sometimes it's limited and sometimes they will release a website that give unlimited internet usage, which we can use to tunnel it. So it all depends on ISP and the country you are browsing from. So that's how users can get free internet access on Leo Tunnel VPN. Thank you very much.